Arman Tsarukyan and Michael Chandler had a brief back and forth. I thought it was fun and entertaining. Doesn't seem like there's anything too personal there. But Chandler had just made the observation aloud and said that he was surprised Tsarukyan had turned down a title fight, that he himself would have taken it. And he added for motivation as to why he would have done that the sport moves quickly. And I know exactly what Chandler means. Like, you don't have anything until you have it. If you're a number one contender, just for example, like, you don't stay the number one contender. If you are the number one contender and you're offered a title fight, that is what you get for being the number one contender. You don't then get offered it again, just for example. Or you don't get offered a third time. You look around and you go, but I haven't lost. I haven't done anything different. It's like, yeah, but the rest of the sport moved on. And there's not a whole lot of times over history that you could prove me wrong. It has happened at times. I think that Tsarukyan is in one of those spots. I think that it will happen for him. I think he's okay to wait. But I at least understand the argument. And I would be curious why Tsarukyan waited. I got to see his fight with Oliveira right up close. And it was awesome. Oh, my goodness. These guys were so good. And Arman showed heart in front of everything. Like, aside from the skill and understanding the ins and outs, X's and O's, understanding the different precarious positions he found himself, he only got out of those submissions or was able to sit in those submissions and hang on out of heart, out of grit, because he wanted it. And so a guy that wants it that much, generally, it's not even a question of, do you want the title shot? Can I give you what you've been working for? The reason you defeated that choke, the reason you defeated Charles Oliveira, is in hopes of increasing your chances. Nothing more, no guarantees, but in hopes of increasing your chances that I will come to you and I will offer you Islam Makhachev for the world championship. And so when those very things happen and you say no, it's a surprise. It's one to where you feel, okay, let me repeat myself. You must not have heard me. I'm not offering you Islam or your choice of something else. I'm offering you Islam. I'm not offering you. There isn't a or. There isn't a something else. It may still be Islam when that time comes. It may not. Are you sure you're aware of that? Yeah, I'm sure. And I would be very curious. Like when I watch somebody that has the grit of Arman, and I listened to his interviews. I heard what this was all about. And what this was about for him was a number one contendership. He believed that he could get back in there with Islam if he got by Oliveira. And sure enough, he was right. Not very many guys are. Not very many guys know when they're in an actual number one contenders match, which, by the way, still had a feature title match in that weight class to come that same evening. Like, Justin Gaethje goes out there and stops Max. Justin Gaethje goes out and does to Max what Max did to Justin Gaethje. Tsarukyan is no longer the number one contender. I mean, I'm just explaining to you, for example. And I can only guess. He needs more time. Or maybe he was hurt. Maybe he felt something that we didn't know about. Maybe he's got an injury right now and he's too much of a man to come out and say it. I mean, everybody else is really into advertising their injuries. I have no idea why they would do that. I mean, they'll put them right on the internet. They'll claim them whether they're true or not. If they've got an x-ray showing that, they will put the x-ray out. Like, this is really weird behavior. I would never, I can't possibly relate to this. But what if that's what it is? I mean, what if Tsarukyan just didn't feel good? The one thing I never liked about the sport, if I was to personalize, and the only thing that I didn't like about our sport, is that you only get to do it 3 times a year. When I started in the sport, we didn't have commissions, we didn't have gloves, we didn't have weigh-ins, and we fought multiple people in the same day. I mean, I'm just sharing, like, we're in a lot better place now. I don't argue for you that it was better back in my day. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm just sharing with you that when I tell you that I don't get it and I don't like it, I don't get it and I don't like it. I would have taken that fight right then had they let me. And you will always get asked on the day of a fight, how are you feeling? You will not come in contact with a person on fight day that doesn't say to you, how are you feeling? It could be your mother, it could be your wife, it could be your coach, it could be your trainer, it could be a friend, it could be a acquaintance, it could be somebody at the UFC, it could be the guy holding the camera. They will say to you, how are you feeling? They will ask you, are you ready? Instead of saying hi or hello, they will ask you that. Are you ready? How you feeling? And you know when you get asked that they've never been in your shoes. Because it doesn't matter how I'm feeling, and I will never be ready. But eventually it will be my turn. And when it's my turn, I will make that walk, regardless of how I feel. So stop asking me. And when I watch these guys, when I watch them in peak shape, beautiful, look like they're carved out of stone, on weight, which I know what a difficult opponent that can be. Prime position, sharp and ready. I know, I've just seen it. Just beat a world champion. Why would you want to wait? I don't know. I don't know. It would seem as though, boy, the quicker we could get in there, it would seem as though what Alex Pereira did, or what Alex Pereira tried to do, which is to get booked that night for 3 weeks later. Proclaiming to the world, I feel great, I'm sharp, I'm here, let me go. Jamal Hill took the same stance. Pereira got told, hey, you're going to have to wait. We're all going to stand by and see what that's for. Jamal Hill got told, you bet. And he got announced, and he got booked. And I don't have a negative opinion. This story could all work out perfectly. It could. But Islam now has Poirier. There's something different going on there. Islam is not going to be a 55-pounder forever. Islam's not going to be around forever. Will he be around long enough? Islam has only asked for one thing ever that I've heard him do. If he's asked for 2 things, fine, but I didn't hear it. I've only heard one, which is he would like different opponents. He would like to not do rematches. So it's just a peculiar spot. It's a peculiar spot of, if you're going to wait, what are you waiting for? Because what you're telling me is you don't feel good, or you don't think that you're going to feel good. That's what you're telling me. Make no mistake. That's what you're telling me. So what's to assure, even if we wait, but what's to assure when we book that fight, we make that fight, let's just say we're going to do it in November. Are you not going to do the fight if at some point you don't feel good? Or you feel like on a different day you could feel better? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. But it is, in my opinion, surprising. And it's a surprising thing to offer to the public. I would feel if you had something, if there was an opportunity, if you said no, that you would keep that inside, that you would keep that private. I don't understand having the broken whatever and posting the x-ray online. I personally don't understand it. But I do believe Tsarukyan is very tough and knows what he's doing, and he wants it and has grit and deserves it. What I don't know, and I do want an answer, this isn't meant to be backhanded, is when you're at your peak, when you're at your best, when you just had success, when you just beat the scale, when you're as sharp as you're going to be, why you wouldn't want another match quickly? It's Olympic year. Every sport in the Olympics, every single person that will be getting a medal, doesn't matter if it's gold, silver, or bronze, everybody that will get a medal in a 2-day period will have 4 matches, of which they do not know who the opponent's going to be. And they're called amateurs. They aren't paid. They're called amateurs, and they are unpaid, and they are willing to do something quadruply more difficult than our best professionals. It's just an observation. I enjoyed the back and forth with Tsarukyan and Chandler. I hope that it continues, but if it does, I will continue to make an observation.